Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you know that I got this figure from Dorkside Toys. They're a group of awesome people, and they have a store here in my home state, but they also have a website, and I encourage you to go check them out. They do really good business, and they have really great stuff. And I'm not saying that because they paid me. I'm saying that because I believe it. Wait, are they really not paying me? Oh, okay. Anyway, they're not paying me, which sucks, but seriously, they have some awesome stuff. You should go check them out. As always, the link to their website is going to be in the description. So, on to the video.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is a video review of Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Protectabot Streetwise. What a name. This is the last of the 5 Protectabots that I have to review, and then I'll do Defensor's review shortly after this. But I'm glad that he was number 5. You know, I'd said earlier that they were all numbered, and I'm glad that he's number 5 because he's definitely a very good figure and somebody I want to talk about. In my previous collab review with TFA 1024, we talked about First Aid and how he was an improvement on off-road, and the story is a lot of the same here with Streetwise being a really good improvement of Dead End, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's probably my second favorite toy out of Combiner Wars. I think Rook, so far playing with them all, Rook is definitely the best mold, and seeing as how he's the only one, Rook is the best figure out of Combiner Wars so far. And then I think my second favorite mold is this mold, and this figure is definitely more appealing to me than Dead End. So you're looking at the second best figure in Combiner Wars so far right now in terms of the deluxes. So let's go ahead and talk about him. He is a police car. He is the Dead End mold, and surprisingly, he is the Dead End mold because he looks nothing like Dead End. All the lines are totally different. He looks, you know, more sleek. He's got a lot more straight lines, whereas Dead End is more curved and more European sports car. Streetwise looks more like a Japanese police car, I think. He's sleeker, he's more angled, he's just all around. All the body lines on him just say a fast frickin' police car. And, you know, Dead End uses his body lines to evoke a really fancy sports car. So they do a great job, and me being a car enthusiast, I love seeing these two molds together and seeing how they've just changed him so drastically. He just looks so different, even though he has the same skeleton. It's actually kind of amazing how different they look. You can see all the body lines. You know, when you're looking at him from the front, you can see the same kind of skeletal structure, how it kind of is lower in the front and the back kind of widens out and becomes those big old haunches in the back, which is very evocative of a sports car or a muscle car or whatever. But everything else, the windshield, the hood, everything else is just sleek and aggressive on Streetwise, whereas, like I said, on Dead End, he looks a little bit fancier. So I'm just going to let you soak in. The backs are a lot of the same, actually. I think they're not exactly the same. There's differences in the backs. Obviously, there's these new intakes. We'll talk about them a little bit. We'll talk about the main differences. On the front here, you can see, obviously, the whole hood section is different. He's got these bigger headlights, the police kind of ram. He's got these awesome intakes down here, more intakes up here on the hood. He says police in that blue. He's got the Autobot logo right there. Different, sleeker mirrors than Dead End has. Dead End's got those mirrors. But just more angled and more aggressive looking. the roof is very narrow and low. He looks like he is very fast. He's got this nice little sleek police light assembly up here, and then you can see these intake vents running down to the back, and a very small rear window. Obviously, the side is very sleek, and you can see all the lines and all the body panels as it's very angular, very sharp angles. Where, like I said, Dead End has more of a curve to his body. So you can see they're just, I mean, they're based off the same skeleton, but they're totally different animals. And I honestly I could talk about it all day, but they are a whole lot, of fun to see how unique each figure is. And you can see here on the side, once again, there's police, and there's a bunch of vents, and there's a gas cap. Very, very nice. On the back, his taillights aren't painted, but he's got, some more of those vents and a couple more sleek details. He just looks great. I just can't say enough about him. But that's him in his car mode. He does have the same wheels as Dead End, but they're painted black, which I think works for a police car because most police cars don't have painted rims. But yeah, he's great. He rolls fantastic. Now, when you look underneath him, you can definitely tell that this is the same mold. Obviously, there's some differences in robot mode, and we'll talk about it, but you can tell that he's the same mold by just looking at the underside. So, we'll go ahead and talk about his weapon. He has a black version of Dead End's hand-foot gun with the exhaust up here. He's got the red detailing on his thumb, but it is the exact same as Dead End's. So there's that. However, he does not come with a pipe. He comes with this really awesome, this is a new weapon, tri-barreled shotgun, and mine has a little bit of a paint error right there. That barrel right here is not painted all the way. But it's a tri-barrel shotgun with a scope and all of this really cool detailing on the side. It's silver, it's mean, and it looks really, really cool. So you could mount this on the top of the car, I guess, and have him shooting at fools. You could put it right here, I guess, too. Or angle it backwards. I don't know. There's really no good place to put weapons in car mode. You can also peg this on the top. But like I said, I don't like doing that. I just like the vehicle modes to be sleek. So yeah, that is him in his vehicle mode. I'll go ahead and compare him to his fellow deluxes. So there's Streetwise. We'll go ahead and stick First Aid in here. And then we'll get Rook right here. And then Blades can, we all know what the helicopter looks like. So we'll kind of cram them all in here. So there he is with his deluxe counterparts. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick Hotspot over here and kind of pull back a little bit so you can see all the vehicles together. So they all look very good together. They look very nice, all in a line. So there they all are. They scale very nicely. I definitely think that, in my mind, Rook and Streetwise would work together a lot because they're police and SWAT. And then I could also see First Aid and Streetwise being a team, being the police and rescue. But these vehicles definitely look great together. You can tell that they mean business. So let's go ahead and transform him to robot mode and check that out. So transformation is exactly the same as Dead End, and so I'm going to kind of rush through it. I'm going to show you, but I'm still going to be kind of quick. So you push down right here and flip the windshield back like this. Then what you want to do is you want to pull the whole hood of the car up. It's pegged in with 2 peg holes right here. Then you want to kind of collapse this all the way back and then push all this back down, at which point you will lower this and flip this panel down, lock that into place, and you'll reveal the head. Now all the backpack's out of the way. So what you want to do next is take the bottom of the car, and it's pegged in right here. But you want to open these panels up out to the side, like so. At which point you can bring these panels up and out to the sides. So after you get the arms out of the way, what you want to do is you're going to want to split the legs. You come around here, and this red joint here is actually the knee. And so you're going to want to rotate that panel all the way down and around like so. Then there's a little groove right here that closes in on the little groove right there. So that snaps together like so. Bring that leg down. Once again, you're going to rotate it on this little red joint like so. Then that groove will snap in like so, like that. Then you rotate the waist 180 degrees. And there is that. Then to fix the arms, you untab them at the elbow and then get in here with your thumb and flip out the hands. Untab the elbow with your hands, get in there, flip out that hand. And straighten him up. And there we have Streetwise in his robot mode. Now he looks very good here, and a lot of the blue detailing has been pushed to the back and to his sides. So in robot mode, looking straight at him, you're getting a lot of reds, whites, and blacks. So it kind of changes up his color palette. He ends up being more red than blue. So, which I kind of like. I think it makes him a little bit different. It makes him match with the other Protectobots too as well. That was a double, whatever. So in robot mode here you can see a lot of different details. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the comparison because that's the best way to do it. There is Dead End. You can see obviously the everything is different except for his waist, his thighs, and his whole chest area, like the underneath this little flap here. All that is not the same. Holy cow. All the detailing under there is different. That is nuts. Okay, so just his waist and his thighs are the same. I didn't even know that underneath the chest area was the same. That's crazy. That is a whole new piece. The whole center of him is just different. Okay. Alright. So only the waist and thighs are the same. Everything else is different. The chest panel is different. His is black with an Autobot symbol, and it's got like the front of the car kind of molded in there. I wish that it was a little bit more detailed with some silver on there, so it kind of, broke it up. But I like the black chest a little bit. Personally, I think maybe these sides should have been white to be like the front of the car, and then that middle could have been black. But that's just me. The arms are totally different. All the way, they look the same, but they're not. They're just totally different all the way down. The paint is different. The molding is different. Obviously, the heads are different, and coming down to his knees are different. He's got his shins. He's got these really cool 3-level plating on there, and the feet are different. So everything on this guy just looks really, really good. And coming around to the back, once again, you can see how the fronts of the car and the windshields are different. So, that's him compared to his old, his skeleton mate, basically. But yeah, he's got a lot of really cool red detailing on his arms, red in the chest, red at the waist, red in the knees, red right there for the little combiner peg. His head is kind of big, but I remember I had a knockoff Protectobots, and it looks straight up like the G1, and I really like it. I wish that it was a little bit more posable, like Dead End's, but the most you get's a little bit up, and then this side to side right here. But overall, it's really cool. He's got these red, fins on the side, the red forehead crest, blue eyes, and a silver mouth, and it's really cool how layered his face is. So Streetwise definitely looks neat. Like I said, his legs are that really cool 3-step thing, and the feet just are different. Posability wise, he's the same. I already talked about his head. You get ball joint, shoulders out with a cutout to the side, rotation at the above the elbow, a 90-degree elbow bend, and the wrists are on that little swivel. The waist does rotate. He has the thigh ball joint with the cut out to the side, rotation at the thigh, and a joint at the knee doing about a 90-degree bend. Everything else, that's standard. That's the way Dead End was. So there's that. His guns in robot mode, he can hold the hand-foot gun again. I don't like using that as a weapon. To me, it's kind of dumb. However, if you want to give him his police shotgun of justice, there it is. And it looks really cool when he's got it. He's like, hey, evildoer, I'm going to blow your face off, man. So it looks really cool. It's definitely a cool weapon for him to have, and it looks like he's going to be doing a lot of protecting by destroying things. So that's the funny thing about these Protectobots, is they're supposed to be the protective, they're like the guardians of Earth or whatever. That's their whole team's function, is to protect Earth, but they're all weaponed up, and it's hilarious. Speaking of the other weaponed up Protectobots, there's him. We'll go ahead and throw in First Aid. Then we'll put Rook over here. And then we'll put Blades over here. And we'll pull back a little bit so you can see all of them together. So they look really good. Here is when you notice that Streetwise is more off-white than the rest of them. It doesn't really bother me as much because, I don't know, he kind of looks like he's a little dirty, but that's kind of cool, I think, that he is in the trenches. But everybody else has that really bone white coloration to him. And as much as for consistency's sake, I think he would look good bone white. I don't know. He looks okay. I dig it, and I just kicked over Blades. That's okay. This mold is we're gonna be seeing a lot of this mold, actually, unfortunately. So there's that, and then I'll go ahead and rearrange them to where I can get Hotspot in the mix. I just wanted to show off all the deluxes together, and then we'll stick Hotspot in the mix here, and we'll put these guys back here and put First Aid up. Not First Aid. We'll put my two Favies up front. So there's that. There they all are together, and they look great. So there's a group shot of all the Protectobots. So that's robot mode. And it is at this point where I realized I totally jacked up this review and didn't make it flow the way all the others do. And I totally did not do leg mode on the way to robot mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to arm mode real quick right now. It's very easy. All you do is basically make the upper half the car mode and flip over the hood. Like so. Bring this panel. So you close them all up, and then you fold the front back up. You take this red joint here, and it doubles over and folds all the way over, like that. And then you take the legs, you open this panel up, flip this little joint down, close these bad boys up, flip out the combiner peg. Actually, what you do is you bring these arms up. Sorry, you don't close them up. You bring them up, and they hook into the side right there. That's how you do arm mode. Then you rotate this way, and then you take the hand-foot gun and you plug it on right here, and you didn't see that, but it's okay because that's an easy step. If there's any confusion, go back and watch the Dead End review. I do it a little bit more in depth. This video is already going to be long because I was gushing about how much I liked him. So there's his arm mode, and it looks good. Let's compare him. Here's Dead End in arm mode, and you can see I've done the modification to where the top of the car sticks up a little bit more. I can totally do that here, which I will to show it off. So that's what it looks like modified with more of the car mode sticking up next to Dead End, and I think it looks better that way. So that's how he looks in arm mode, and I'll show it off more what am I trying to say? In the Defensor review. But going to leg mode is actually simple. And I'm not going to compare him to Dead End because I'm just going to rush through this. Basically, you just put him back into car mode. Flip that up. And like I said, if you have any questions, Dead End's review is the exact same transformation. All you got to do is go back and watch that. It's more detailed. Wrap all this up, peg all this together, flip that piece up, like so, and there he is in his foot mode. And actually I am going to compare him to Dead End because I noticed something about them together. you remember my complaint about how the foot looked really big on Dead End because of the way the leg was? It's a little bit better on Streetwise because it covers up a little bit more of the foot. So Streetwise actually improves the leg mode itself. And like I said, you can modify it and lift these up and make the leg look a little bit better. But yeah, that is him. He's definitely a really, really, really cool figure. And I'm totally glad that I got this guy because he is cool. So that is him. Leg mode looks good. And I look forward to doing defense review. So anyway, thank you for viewing this video, and goodbye.